What's up, you guys? It's Jake State Farm here with Atomic Theory, and we are back with another video. And in today's video, we have something very exciting. We are doing Atomic Drawback Bingo. Now, what does that mean? Well, as you can see, we've got a bingo card here, and we are going to be trying to cross off some bingo squares here as we go through this hourly Atomic Arena. So let's quickly do this because this tournament is starting in 2 minutes and I need all the time I can get. So the rules for this challenge are as follows. Our goals are to get 5 in a row on our bingo card. So we're not trying to fill up the whole card. That would be kind of impossible. But we're trying to get 5 in a row, either vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. And then our other goal is to win the arena tournament. So if we do those two things, we will complete the challenge. And then on a side note, we're trying not to lose too many rating points here, which might be pretty difficult, to be honest, but we're going to give it our best shot. And yeah, so that being said, I'm not going to be resigning early from games if I think I'm not going to complete a challenge. I'm still going to stick it out, and yeah, I'm going to stay in there and try to win the game if I can. But yeah, these first two things, if we're able to do these two things, then it is challenge success. So some of the other rules here are to cross off a square, I must complete the challenge and win the game. So if I complete a challenge but I don't win the game, then I'm not able to cross off the square. For challenges that say after move blank or similar language to that, so after move 10 or for the first 20 moves, that kind of language, the game must last at least that amount of moves for the challenge to be valid. So, in other words, if the challenge says after move 10, I can't move pawns, and the game only lasts 8 moves, then I'm not allowed to cross off that square. I cannot cross off a challenge if my opponent resigns on move 1, so they at least need to make 1 move in order for it to be a valid game. And then lastly, I can only cross off 1 square per game. This one won't matter too much, but there may be games where I am able to complete more than 1 challenge, and so for those games, I just have to choose 1 to cross off. And kind of the way this works, kind of my strategy is going to be I might be going for 2 or 3 challenges in one game. And then as it narrows down, as the game gets closer to the end, maybe I realize I'm only able to do, one or the other. But I'm going to try to leave myself as many options as possible. So I might be trying to go for more than 1 challenge at a time. All right. Let's quickly run through what all the challenges are here. So this first one, no knight or bishop moves. So got to play the whole game without moving my knight or bishops. No rook or queen moves. Can't move same piece as opponent. So this would just be whatever my opponent moved on their last turn. I can't move that same piece. So if they moved a knight, then I can't move a knight on my next turn. Swap king and king starting position. So I have to manually move my queen and king to where at some point during the game they occupy the other starting person's or starting piece's square. Play the game blindfolded, push all pawns before any piece. So push all my pawns at least once before moving any of my other pieces. As black, don't play one of the 3 most common first moves. So when white plays their move, playing a move that is not one of the 3 most common responses. Losing my queen for a pawn in 5 moves. So again, this would be one where, I guess it wouldn't have to last 5 moves, but I just need to do this, of course, in the first 5 moves at least. Mirror opponent's first 2 moves. This one will be super tricky. I have to make the exact same first 2 moves that my opponent makes, and this one would only be possible as black. I think there's 3 challenges here that are black only challenges, and the reason I have it set up that way is because I think this will be quite a bit easier as white, so I wanted to give myself some stuff to go for as black. Manually castle, so I have to move my king and my rook to the squares where they would end up castling without actually castling. No pawn moves after move 20, so this means that the game has to last at least 20 moves, and if it does so, then I can't move any pawns if I want to complete this challenge. The number of moves is divisible by 10, so the game has to go either 10 moves, 20 moves, 30 moves, etc. No castling, this is kind of my free space. I think this one will be super easy to complete. It's probably the easiest one on here. Must make every capture. This one's super tough, so kind of like an anti-chess, when you have a capture, you must do it. This one I'm probably not going to be able to do. No 2 square pawn moves, so only 1 square pawn moves. I can't ever move a pawn twice. This one's pretty easy. No moves made to the 4 center squares. Can't put a piece in those 4 central squares. Beat a 2000 rated or higher player as black. That one should be doable. Rook lift on move 2. So I either have to play, a4, h4, h5, a5, whatever, and then move my rook out on move 2. No captures until mate or king explosion. So I can't make a single capture unless it is to explode the other person's king. 1 piece moves to every possible square. This one's really funny. So the idea behind this one is that I have to have 1 piece that touches every square that it possibly can. So one way to do this would be for, like, say, my light squared bishop to touch every light square on the board. This one, it has to be impossible. I don't know how I do this unless my opponent just refuses to resign. Only knight moves allowed unless impossible. So basically only knight moves until both of my knights are off the board, then I can move other pieces. Spend 2 minutes on move 2. Originally I was going to do this in a 3+2 arena. So instead we'll just, and it's going to be 1+2, which is, it's going to be interesting here. So instead we'll say spend 40 seconds on move 2, 67% of my time on move 2 if I want to complete this one. After move 5, so this means it has to go at least 5 moves. After move 5, must have piece on c4 or c5 entire game. That one will be tricky. Only diagonal or straight queen moves. So once I move my queen diagonally or straight, then I can only do that for the rest of the game. The nice thing with this one, though, is if I don't have to move my queen at all, then I could still cross this one off because there's not a move limit on it. And then first 10 moves with 1 type of piece. This one's kind of a hybrid between the knight 1 and the pawn 1 here. Basically, I'd either have to only move knights or pawns for the first 10 moves, which with knights it would pretty much be impossible because I'm sure both of my knights would be taken in the first 10 moves. So this one is, that one's probably impossible, to be honest, unless I'm able to do it with pawns. Okay, so that's all the challenges that we've got for this tournament. And without further ado, let's hop into it. There are, very few players in this hourly arena. Wow, only 7 players. Yeah, so like I said, though, originally I had planned to do this with a 3+2 arena rather than a 1+2 arena. And I think there's pros and cons here. I think the 1+2 arena, it's going to be tough to think about the challenges as I'm going about this, so that'll make it difficult. But the nice thing is I will be able to get some more games in. So the hope is that I will be able to complete it just because I'll have so many more games played. And hopefully that'll help me. All right, here we go, hopping into the first one. All right, awesome. We are black. So let's try to go with, I'm already struggling here. Okay, I'm looking at my thing here. Okay, so the one that I'm looking at right now is the no 2 square pawn moves. That one should be doable. So let's try to do that. Okay, I think we're going to be able to complete one here already. I guess we could have also gone for blindfolded. It's just this blindfold thing that we'll have to check here. Input moves with your voice. I want to do that at a later time. Okay, before I go for mate here, is there any sense in... Okay. I have an idea here. Yes. Okay. This is awesome. So I'm going to be able to do the must make every capture one, which I thought was going to be pretty difficult. But I'm going to be able to complete that one actually because I didn't have any possible captures up until this point, and then I made it. So let's cross, where is it? Let's cross this one off here. Awesome. Okay. And our first one is off the board. That is a good feeling. That one, I was not too sure if we were going to be able to complete that one. So I am pretty happy about that. I'm just going to cross it off on my phone as well so I can follow along here. Okay. So this middle row right here, it's very doable. The no castling is going to be easy. I think the hardest one It's probably going to be the number of moves divisible by 10, but maybe we can just get lucky. Okay, let's start with e3 here. This is so difficult trying to think about how we want to go here. Okay, I'm also tempted by that can't move same piece as opponent one. So our opponent just moved a pawn, which means we can't move a pawn. So we'll move our knight instead. And they moved their pawn, so again, we can't move a pawn, but that's fine. We'll just move our knight. We're going to go for this one, and maybe we'll get lucky and be able to complete a different one. Okay, let's again move our knight, and then if they move their pawn, okay, queen. Good. Okay, so far we have, by the way, this lose queen for pawn in 5 moves, that means lose your queen for only a pawn. So I can't, take on h7 or b7 or something and explode a bunch of pieces. All right, let's make sure. So we moved our bishop, then he moved his rook. So we can't move a rook, but that's okay. We wouldn't want to anyway. Just making sure we haven't messed up yet. Okay, moves his pawn. So we've got to move our bishop. Okay, this is good. It's good that he's got a knight on the board here because moving a knight doesn't hurt us at all here. So let's move our king. Castling is a king move. Okay, great. Moves his knight, which means we can make any move we want, and we'll choose to go with a pawn. All right, now this is where this gets kind of tricky. I'm going to go rook a1, but if he takes here, yeah. Okay, I'm actually going to go king f1, allowing rook h3, but then I think I may have this, which looks to be mate. There's no king g6 there because I'd have f takes g5. Obviously, the best move would have been h3, but since he just made a pawn move, and I'm going for that one of the can't move same piece as opponent. Okay, moves his knight, which means we can move any piece we want. Let's go for a pawn. We're opening this up. What would be so funny is if he made like a bishop move here. That would be super funny. Okay. Moves his king. I think we have to go h3 here. We have to stop his rook from coming in. He can go to h4, but it's not near as scary as h3, and we just have no way to stop rook f3. We may have to abort mission here. Okay. Pawn g4. We're still not out of it. He may go bishop d6 here to cut off our rook, in which case, oh, I thought I had rook a5, but I don't. Okay. So I have to go rook a8 first, allowing bishop e8, and then come back to a5. But now if he goes rook f8, we have to go rook f5. No choice. Okay, he moves a pawn. We can still move our rook. All right, so now we have to lose that challenge because we had to block his rook there. Let's see if there's any other ones we could go for. We can definitely go for we can definitely go for the divisible by 10 one. I think that would be a good one to go for. We've obviously made pawn moves after move 20, so that one's impossible. Shoot. Okay, maybe he'll go here. Oh, it doesn't even matter. Okay, I'm actually going to block this. I want to get divisible by 10 here, if I can. He may just resign though, in which case I don't know if we actually completed any, which is kind of sad. Yeah, I don't think we can cross any off. We definitely made moves to the center for squares. We moved knights, bishops, rooks, and queens. Yeah. I don't think we were actually able to complete a single one there, which is sad. We got close to a couple. I'm still trying to figure out what to go for here. I think I want to do something through the no castling one. But it's going to depend on what we get here. Okay, we're going up against 1,000. Let's go ahead and flip on the blindfold here because there's no way we lose this game even if we're blindfolded. Okay, going for knight c3. Let's go knight h6, threatening to come into g4. Alright, he goes for the same thing as our last opponent, attacking e7, and he goes knight e7. But then we're able to go knight g4, and there's no way to stop this. Yep. Alright. So yeah, common mistake here. You got to go g4, h3, knight e5, something like that. But he fails to. And okay, so which one do we want to cross off here? There's a few different ones we can cross off. But let's go ahead and cross off the blindfold. I think that's our best bet. We didn't make any rook or queen moves, and we also didn't make any queen moves, so that we could have crossed off the one down there, the only diagonal or straight queen moves. But yeah, as it stands, we'll just take the blindfold. And so now we've got kind of two chances here of going through the center. We've either got this diagonal right here going along this way, or we've got this line right here. Some of the difficult ones that we're going to run into. This one could be difficult depending on what our opponents play. This one and this one could both be difficult. But I like our setup here. I like our setup. All right, let's flick off blindfold. Which one do we want to go for here? Let's go for the knight one. I'm going to go for the knight one in the corner. Only knight moves allowed unless impossible. So let's see if we can get a sneaky win here right off the bat. What this challenge is really going to come down to is how well can we play against low-rated opponents. Okay, I'm actually going to go knight c3 here, hoping that he takes, which would remove both of our knights. Oh, gosh. It would remove both of our knights, and it would make this challenge a whole lot easier because both of our knights would have been off the board, which means there would have been no legal knight moves. But okay, we were able to get the knights off the board. As you can see, our first 5 moves were all knight moves, which means there are no more legal knight moves now that we don't have knights. And so all we have to do is just win the game now. So this is good. It looks like we'll be able to do that one in the corner there, which would be amazing. I feel like he's going to go knight g4. Oh, he did it. Okay, so we have to be scared. I can now knight g4, f3, knight e3 almost works. Not quite, but it almost works. See if he sees this threat here. He does. Alright, let's pin his knight. This guy is playing really well for an 1,000 rated player. Alright, but he does allow our queen in. He's got to go king h8 to stop queen f7 here. And he doesn't see it. Alright, there we go. So we are going to be able to cross off this one in the corner now. There we go. Just going to cross it off on my phone as well. Okay, so this diagonal here is looking quite promising. I think this beat 2000 is black. That should be relatively easy. The no castling one is pretty much a free space that we can cross off anytime we want. What do we want to go for here? Okay, against e4, what's a move that would be super uncommon that also doesn't lose? Let's go c6. I don't think this would be one of the 3 most common moves. I'll check after the game and make sure. But we're going to go for that one. Okay, perfect. We won super quick there. Let me pull up the analysis board and make sure that that's not one of the 3 most common moves. And I need to flip all this on here. Okay, after pawn to e4. Yep, as I expected, c6 is way down here. Awesome. Okay, which means we're getting another game here, but we can cross this one off. Okay, so unfortunately playing as white here, we're not going to be able to really get anything on that diagonal. I can go for the pawn push one though. Let's go for the pawn push one. That one would be kind of fun. Push all pawns before any piece. We're going to go for that. I got to mark this on my phone as well. So much to keep track of here. Alright, there we go. Alright, this is good. He's getting his knight out, so we'll block his knight from going any further. And we can move our pawns more than once if we want. So we don't have to just move every pawn once. We can move them more than once if we want. But the idea is just that we have to move every pawn at least once before making a piece move. That is the challenge for that one. Okay, here we go. And with that, we did it. So now we can just play this game as normal. We've pushed every pawn at least once. So now we just need to win, which is easier said than done. But I will say this is a pretty comfortable position. It could be a lot worse for sure. Let's go knight c3. We'd love to see b takes, just giving us this open file here. Okay. You don't want to allow mate in 1, but now there's really no good way to stop rook b7 here. Let's throw in an in-between move of queen c2. Just attacking this h7 pawn. Trying to go for the cheap victory. I'm tempted to even go like knight h3 here. Again, we have rook b7. I guess let's go ahead and throw rook b7 in. We'll probably win his queen after something like queen d7. Yeah, but we don't have to take that yet. Let's play knight h3. Okay. See, now we've got knight e6. Although he would have knight c7 there. So let's think about this. Let's play e4. We'll play e4. Like if he plays e5 here, we still have knight e6. And we're threatening mate. And of course, if queen takes, then our rook would come in. This is exactly what I was hoping for. I was hoping he would maybe come in with his knight, not realizing that knight c7 was a resource that he needed there. And then we will mate him there. Okay, perfect. So we pushed all pawns before any piece. Perfecto. Maybe this horizontal line there is what we need to go for. Who knows? Okay. Yeah. Either way, that mirror opponent's first two moves, I never thought I'd say this in Atomic, but I'm really hoping to get the black pieces here, actually. Last time we had the black pieces. So I think every time we've played black, except for this time when we didn't want to go e5 and hang mate in 5 there, although he probably wouldn't have seen it. But this mirror your opponent's first two moves is really kind of situational. There's hardly any openings that you can actually do that against. The one that comes to mind is like maybe e3, queen f3 would be like really the only time that you could ever even do that without getting mated. But yeah, that's really tough. I think this one's doable, and both of these are definitely doable. This knight or bishop one is more difficult, but if we get a low-rated opponent, maybe we can get our queen out early and checkmate them that way. But then with these two, you run into the problem of this one's not too easy, I don't think. Can't move same piece as opponent. That's tricky. Okay, here we go. We are black against a player rated higher than 2000. This is perfect. So we can do the beat 2000 as black here. We just need to focus. We don't. This is what I wanted here. We don't have to think about any drawbacks. We just have to think about winning. And that's what we do best. All right, let's go f5. Makes sense. These positions are always tough to play as black when he's got this pawn on e4 and our pawn's on e6. It kind of stops us from being able to play knight f6. I'm going to go d5 and maybe eventually c5. Okay, he does close it up, which we're okay with. Yeah, let's go ahead with c5. There's no bishop b5 because we'd have c takes. Now do we want to play c takes d4? I think we do. There's never going to be any queen a4 ideas, so we don't have to worry about that. And this does open up queen b6 for us. Problem is queen b6 immediately is followed by bishop b3. Let's go knight c5. Let's see what he does here. We may have queen a5, queen a6, or maybe even b6, bishop a6, rook c8. I think we're going to have some play on the queen side here. And thankfully this bishop is not too threatening. Okay, pawn to a5 is actually not a bad move. Let's go knight a4. I'll probably go rook a4 here. I think that's the best move. Okay, let's go b6, followed by bishop a6 and rook c8. And after bishop a6, we're okay with b takes here, because it will allow queen b6 in some lines. Okay, this does allow bishop b4. Let's go rook c8 instead. Let's go rook c8. Now A takes. This is just mate. Okay, perfect. Now there's no knight C3 anymore. Okay, let's go knight F6. Maybe just force out E takes. If he goes knight G5, well, no reason to think about it anymore. He didn't play that. Okay, my opponent is actually playing really well here. I gotta give him props. There's like bishop takes, and then maybe he can get his queen over here. But we're just gonna be coming in the middle here, and yeah, this is super strong. That king E2 move I wasn't a huge fan of. I understand the idea. Maybe bishop takes, and then his knight could have come in. I think I would have played D4 either way, though. Now we've got queen E7, and after bishop E4, we just take. All right, there we go. That was a great game of my opponent. Well played to him, but there we go. Wow, I'm going to fix that. I'm not a huge fan of how I drew that. There we go. That's a better X. Okay. Guys, I think we are doing it. We are yet to lose a game, and we only had one game that we played that did not result in a bingo card cross off. I think it was that one game that we won that went super long there. So, hypothetically, this one should be super easy. In fact, we even did that last game. So, like, that's pretty much a free square there. Okay, we can't mirror our opponent's first two moves. Okay, I'm kind of tempted to go for this thing where I swap my queen and king here, because I may try to end up actually going on the top row. And C3 is a tricky move. C3 is a tricky move. Okay, let's go queen A4 and queen H4. There will be G5 there, which I'm not a fan of. Okay, this I'm not actually as worried about. Let's go E3. If knight G4, I might have king D1 there, setting up this maneuver of queen H4 and queen E1 so that my queen and king can swap starting positions. Okay, the question is, do I want to go for that, or do I want to go for like maybe bishop B5 instead? I think this is actually a little better. Oh my gosh, how did I just hang mate in one? Oh, I was thinking to move ahead. I was thinking like F3. Oh, that's so embarrassing. We had a good chance there too. Okay, that's all right. Honestly, I'm not too upset about it. For that being the, yeah, and he missed 94 anyway. For that being the first game that we lose, I'm actually okay with how our rating has been. Okay, what can we go for here? Let's start with E3. Okay, this is a little risky against an 1800 rated player, but I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. I'm actually looking at this line right here, and I think the no rook or queen moves is actually very possible. If we play against a lower rated opponent, we shouldn't have to move our rook or queen. This number of moves divisible by 10, that one should be doable as well. So we'd have to get kind of lucky to get that one, but I think we can make it work. So I'm going to go for this 2 minutes one, or in this case, we just said 67% of our time. So I'm going to spend 40 seconds. Okay, there we are. And this one should actually be relatively easy, considering we do have the 2-second increment, so I'm not too worried about this one. We can gain time back pretty quickly here. And let's see if he goes D5 here, and then we can just play 95. Now if he takes, I have queen F3, and there's not going to be any way to stop mate here with these bishops coming in. Yeah. Okay. That's actually a really good move. Let's take with the knight, believe it or not, because if we take with bishop, he actually would have F takes, I believe, and then like after queen F3, he could play queen H4. So let's go knight takes. We're giving up our good knight, but we kind of have to. Let's go bishop H7, just stopping him from castling here. And now if he goes knight f5 or knight g6, now we can take. Okay, that's a really good move. Let's go d4. Okay, another good move. Let's go h3, just cutting off this square for his bishop. If he ever moves this knight, we do have bishop g6 check, which I'm a fan of. He could go knight g6 instead. We may also have like b5. Okay, he goes there. Let's go c4. He might push here. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Okay, we'll go for b5, b6. If queen here, it's not over because we'll have... Actually, we'll just play rook takes. Never mind. This is the move that I'm a little bit worried about, to be honest. Because we can't take that. Okay, he doesn't see it. That would have been super strong. We couldn't have taken that, so we would have had to play bishop c3. Because after takes, there's rook down and then queen a5. Okay, now let's go here. Again, we always got to look at queen a5. That's why I'm hesitating. Okay, f4. We're barely holding on here. I'm telling you, barely. We may actually be lost here. Maybe he'll go h4. Also, just a3 is really strong. Okay, he doesn't play either one. Now we've got ideas of this. Okay, he really fumbled the back there. I think we can win this, potentially. Okay, yep, he allows us to push our pawn there. Okay, let's keep pushing. Let's see if we can make a queen. He may go knight c6 here, but now I think we can go here. Yep, and there's no way, because if he had gone up, then we would have taken. Alright. Wow, he definitely had us there. Well played to my opponent, but we were able to pull it out at the end. So, we can cross this one off here. I gotta cross it off on my phone as well. Okay. Now, let's go back to the game. Alright, we've got the black pieces. Which one are we going for here? Maybe no rook or queen moves. I don't think that's going to be possible against a player of this caliber. We can go for no pawn moves after move 20. We can also go for no 2 square pawn moves. We can also go for no castling. That's just going to be a good one to get off the board. Go ahead and use our free space. Because if we... Okay, we can also... We definitely, if we win this game, at the very least, we can cross off only diagonal or straight queen moves. Because we just made a diagonal straight move. So, we'll at least be able to cross off something if we win this game. Emphasis on the last part of that sentence. If my opponent knows the prep here, we're in a bit of trouble. Like even bishop b5 is already admittedly pretty strong. I should have gone knight e4, f takes, and bishop d6, and then f4 before castling. Because now bishop b5, and like say after knight e4, f takes, there's no longer any bishop d6 because I think there's just bishop takes. Although maybe that's a trap we can set for him, and then getting our rook to d8, attacking this pawn. Maybe there's something there, I'm not sure. Okay, he does go for it. He seems to be not too sure of the prep, so let's go ahead and go into this line. Maybe he'll castle here. And then there might be like g5, g4, and a rook lift. Okay. That's a good move. Let's go ahead and push this pawn. Okay, so there's like bishop e7 in some of these lines. I'm going to go for it. After takes, I think we can go here and like sack our rook or something. It's kind of weird. Shout out to Bishoy that showed me this line or something similar to it. Yeah, this pawn on c3 blocks his knight from coming out. So, though it seems like he's escaping here unless I'm mistaken. Okay, what's the best way to play this here? I mean, we at least have a draw. Let's just repeat once here and see if we have anything better. There's g5, g4 idea. There's also e5, e4. The problem is rook d8. I'm looking at king f3. Although I actually think we win this. What does he do here? Yep, and we're threatening mate. And I don't think he can actually recover from this. So is that the idea? No, king f3, this doesn't work. What does he have? King h1, and then I was thinking we would just take aha and knight d2. Okay, I missed that. Let's see. Then it went 22 moves. Do we make any 2 square pawn moves? No, we did not. Doesn't appear we did. Yeah, because our pawn did reach f5. But we moved that one twice. So let's go for, which one do we want to go for? This is actually a difficult decision. It's between this one and this one. Because this one's possible, but this is also possible right here. Alright, let's go for this one. Because I think if we get this, then yeah, we'll go for that one. Okay, let's resume. We got to get back in. We got 23 minutes left. This is coming right down to the wire here, I'm not going to lie. We had a really hot start, and I think we've just run into a bunch of tricky ones, to be honest. Yeah, the problem is this one's pretty much impossible right here. I don't think we're ever going to complete this one, because I'm looking at these other 3 that we have left here. And so if we went for this one, it would just be to go for this line right here. And yeah, I think if we get this one right here, then we would just go here anyway. So there's really no point in getting this one, because we're not going here. And the only reason we're not going here is because we already have a bunch right here. So yeah, I think our best chance is this right here. We really want to just try as much as possible to get the number of moves divisible by 10. And the irony is, in that last game, I think we could have done that if we had not gone back and forth. So that's pretty annoying. Alright. Yeah, we're not going to be able to mirror our opponent's first 2 moves here, unfortunately. So we really need to go for a number of moves divisible by 10. We can also go for no castling. That's a solid one to go for. Okay, knight b4 is the tempting move. This is a instructional moment here. Knight b4 is the tempting move. But if white knows his theory, he will go queen h5, g6, and queen c5. And then after bishop takes, then there would be knight b5, and white is much better there. So instead we play this move f5, cutting off this queen. And now if knight b5, then we will play queen h4, g3, and knight b4. And it's actually a pretty pleasant position for black. And even with best play as white, black's not doing too bad there. Okay, this is a good move. We don't want to play knight f6, because then there's knight b5. So we have to take here, which allows the knight to come in. But I think we can then just go... deciding between knight b4 and bishop b4. I think knight b4. Okay. This is a little annoying. Let's take that knight, because the alternative is going here, and after takes, I think he would have a knight that infiltrates. Yeah, we can take this, and now I think we're going to be okay either way, because, yeah, even if he takes here, he goes up material, but we get a knight in. So we're actually not too upset here. Not sure if we played that right or not, but regardless, I don't hate our position. I think we'll just do this to gain a tempo on his pawn here. And then let's castle queenside. Obviously bishop c4 is his threat, but I think we'll have knight g4 there. I think we'll have knight g4 either way. I don't see a good way to stop this. We've got rook f8 coming in. Yeah, he's got to do something like that, and then maybe he castles now. But our knights are just going to dominate his position here. I'm trying to figure out how to get my rook in. There might be like g6 and bishop e7. That's a solid move. Okay, there might be c4 now, but at least we get... And after c5, okay, he doesn't play it either way, but after c5, we can take this actually because we'll block, but also we're stopping his rook from coming to this square. Okay. Oh, this ain't good. We gotta block his rook in. Okay, he can't go rook a2. He can go rook b1. I think he has to take here, but if he does, then we just roll our d pawn down the board. Okay, please don't resign this. Please don't resign this, man. We need to get exactly 30 moves here. Okay, we can go here. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, that's 30 moves. Okay, wow. We planned that out pretty well, actually. Wow, okay, yeah, we had to not only think about how to make him there, but also how to do it in exactly 30 moves. Okay, perfect. I'm so glad he didn't resign. If he had resigned there, it would have messed us up. Okay, we have 20 minutes, and all we have to do to win this challenge, we're so far ahead in the arena, so we're not worried about losing the arena. And we haven't even lost that many rating points. I mean, I think we've gone down just a little bit, but not that much. Let's see. What were we for the first game? We were 2374, so we've only gone down 5 points. Man, this is awesome. I honestly could not have planned this out any better. All we have to do is do this one of no rook or queen moves. So let's go super quick. Let's see if we can make that happen. Let's try to get him to lose super quickly. I guess I should be thinking of an opening that could work without rook or queen moves. Even if... Okay, this is a good one here. He could resign here once we capture his queen. Yeah, there's really no point in going for anything else. The only other thing that we can maybe go for is this diagonal right here. But we really just want to go for this no rook or queen moves thing. That's really going to be our best bet. Okay. Solid move by our opponent. How come I actually... Oh, yeah. We just have knight c5 there. I was like bugging out for a second there. I wasn't too sure what to do. Okay. Maybe he resigns here. There's always a resignation. Hop into the next game. Okay, I'm kind of tempted by knight b7, but I think knight e6 is the more solid move. Like knight b7, there's like queen b6 that comes with the tempo here, and after e3 and knight b4, I don't really want to calculate that, but okay. Come on, resign, resign, resign. It looks like we are not going to be able to beat him without rook or queen moves, which means we still can try to win without castling. Other than that, I don't think there's any other ones that we can really do. I mean, I guess we haven't made any. Okay, you got to resign this, surely. Right? Come on. Maybe we just went up against the one guy that just hates resigning. No, it's actually a really good move. I'm talking about him resigning. I don't even know if I can win the game because he's threatening knight e4 here. So we've got to do something about that. Like, I guess it's knight takes, but then there's just bishop here. Yeah, this is really bad. This is really bad. I think we're going to have to make a queen move, guys. I think we're going to have to make a queen move. I don't even know if I can win this anymore. Okay. And I have to castle too, probably. I have to castle. It's the only way to survive. Okay. I guess we can still do the no two-pawn moves, but for all intents and purposes, this game is not going to help us with what we've got going on here. Yeah, this is brutal. I guess e4 could have been a good try there. Okay. I don't hate this. Because now we can come back with our bishop and block his rook. win this. Yeah, we should not have won that. Alright. Yeah, I don't think there's any other ones we can cross off. I think we have to do this no 2 square pawn moves. I don't think there was any other one that we were able to do. Yeah, there's a lot of fun ones on here that I almost want to change up this idea for the next video. Okay, here we go. This is our big chance. And he berserks us. I'm not gonna, I don't want to be a wimp. I guess I'm gonna have to berserk him back. Okay, knight f6. All right, come on, give us knight g4. Just play knight f3. You know you want to play knight f3. You know you want to play knight f3. Gosh, why are these guys so good? Okay. Please don't play knight h3, because I want to be able to play knight g4. Okay, okay. This is a chance. Come on, play f takes. We just have to win without moving our queen or rooks. And then we'll be good. Oh, why is this guy so good? Okay, okay. Oh, I want to go d takes, which opens up knight e3, but then after, yeah, let's just go for it. Please don't play f takes now. If you do, I'm actually going to be so upset, bro. Because f takes is now actually a good move. Oh, this guy's so good. Okay, maybe he'll play like queen d2, and then we can come in with bishop b2. Let's go. Let's go. We did it. Dude, I'm so hyped. This is actually so hype. I can't believe we did it, actually. That completes this one. And we got bingo. We got bingo. All right, here's what we're going to do. Because we still have 13 minutes left in the arena. And I've got a bunch of fun ones on here that we didn't even get to really talk about. So let's try to do one of those fun ones if we can. Let's try to do... Man, I really want to do this queen and king swapping starting positions there, but it's just so tough. I mean, this one would be kind of funny too, but you'd have to find an opponent that would just let you go crazy in the end game without resigning. I don't know how that's possible. Okay. Okay, I just want to go for it. I want to swap these guys. I just think it would be so funny. Let's be kind of low-key about it. Though. I'm playing the worst opening to try to do this, by the way. The best move here is queen h5. I don't know why I'm playing this opening. Okay. We could also do the manual castle. Okay. Note that queen h4, g3. There's no queen h3 there because we have knight h3. So backward moves are always tough to spot. However, you want to be very careful. The tempting move to play here is knight h5, but it simply does not work. Already, I don't love my position here because after d4, there's this move pawn to e5, which is pretty annoying. And if I don't play d4, then he's just going to play d4. So let's go h4. Yeah, he's definitely going to go d4. Wow, okay, he doesn't play d4. I was thinking about like after d4, do I have like knight d5? Maybe that'd be an interesting position to analyze. Okay, now we've got like queen e2 threatening this, but really our only threat is to come back to e1. That's our only real threat in this position. Okay. We have a chance here. Honestly, my main goal is to just not make sure that this dude does not resign. I guess we have to go here to force out queen takes. Now, we can't go queen e2 because then there's knight to d3 and we'd be forced to take. So instead, I'm going to play queen to f3 because after queen h5, there's g6. And yes, that would be winning after queen e5, but it would not be winning in the sense that we're not able to swap these starting squares. So we are currently on move 10. Okay, I thought he might go here. Now he's got to play something like f5. And then we can play a3. Guys, I think we can actually do this one. But I don't, you can't run out of time, Ezra. Okay. We have a chance here. f4 is not a bad move. I mean, I guess it kind of is. Okay. Please don't play f4. Okay. Let's go king d1. We have a chance. This guy now is like, what are you doing? Okay, he still doesn't go f4. Come on, queen e1, queen e1. Yes! Okay, we got it. Now we just have to win the game in order to complete the challenge. Okay, very important not to play f4, because then there would be bishop g4. This, we're okay with. We are okay with this. Although bishop e6, and he's coming over here. So I have to run with the king. I have to run with the king. It's the only way. I think that was the only way to win. Maybe there was like a rook move. I don't know. No, I think king e2 is the only move. And now we're chilling. Now we're being chilling. Wow, that one actually, I'm not gonna lie, that one felt pretty good. That was difficult. Let's go. Let's go. Man, we gotta analyze that game there. We gotta analyze this game here. Okay, yeah. So as I said, queen h5, the only move to even advantage. But that would not work because the queens would end up getting traded off. So we had to go for this. Okay, so d4 wasn't the move. Did I have knight d5? Okay, it was still not bad. Yeah, knight f6 makes a lot of sense there. Yeah. And here, like I said, we had queen h5, queen e5, but that would have been winning in one book, but not the book that I care about. All right, now this is really what I want to analyze. Yeah, I knew f4 was probably pretty strong. I thought after f4 I could play queen h5, but I think then there's bishop g4. Yep, there would just be bishop g4 there. So he didn't find f4, and then he finally found it. Oh, he had mate in 4. Yeah, bishop g4. That's a really tough move to spot, though. I understand that. But yeah, bishop g4, just getting a tempo for rook c8. That would have been a really sad way to lose. Oh, and then I missed a mate in 2. That's super embarrassing. I was too focused on defense. Let's see. Okay, well, that was a huge mistake. I guess I lied. Oh, wow. After rook e8, king d3 is my only move to draw. King d3 or king d1. Wow, that's tough. So instead, yeah, rook e5 and then getting my king over. Okay. That's so much fun, dude. I'm glad we got that one, though. That's super fun. I did not think we'd be able to complete that one. All right, what else can we go for here? I mean, this one just... I don't even know why I put that on there. That feels A, impossible, and B, like you're just making fun of the opponent if you go for that. I feel like I would get blocked if I did that. This one's possible. Going against the 1900. I'm also kind of interested in this one. Let's go for this one. Let's go for the can't move same pieces opponent. Let's see. Alright, this one already feels impossible. Let's go knight c6. He moves a knight, which means if we're playing by the rules, we have to move a pawn, which we want to move a pawn anyway, okay? He moves a pawn, which means we can move a rook. We just can't move a pawn. He moves a pawn. Oh, man, I would love to move a pawn right now. Rook b8. Rook b8, he's just going to start coming down here. But I can't go knight b4, because after knight b4 and c takes, then I still can't move a pawn. So what's a move that would force out a non-pawn move? Maybe like knight a5. Maybe he'll go bishop b5 here, allowing c6. Or even bishop a6 here. We'll give up the material. Okay, okay. A knight move. I'm cool with that. Let's go b5 to stop knight b5. And now he's definitely going to make either a knight or a bishop move, which will allow another pawn move for us. There's also rook b8, but I'm actually going to play c6, and the reason for this is because we can play rook b8 next turn. Yep, after he makes a move like that, after he makes a pawn move. Okay, although I will say, Let's go. We're going to go bishop a6, actually. Because otherwise, I think after rook b8, he was going to play d takes, and then we wouldn't be able to push a pawn. Because he would have just made a pawn move. Okay, now we can make a pawn move. Now let's go pawn to d6 to stop pawn to d6. He goes queen a4. Oh, we can't move a queen. That's super sad. Okay, we have to go rook b8 then. That's the only way to stop this. After pawn takes, we'll have rook b5. Keep in mind, by the way, we haven't moved a piece to these 4 squares. So we also have that as a fallback. All I will say, I think we are just dead lost here. Because after c takes, and yeah, that's good too. Alright, we're going to have to move our queen. We have to. It's the only way to hang in this game. So we've lost that challenge, but we still haven't occupied any of these 4 squares. So we're not out of it yet. See if he pushes that pawn. He does. Okay, let's go c5 to open up this knight d7 square. Also in play is no pawn moves after move 20, but I'm guessing we're not going to be able to do that one. Also no castling. So no matter what, if we win this game, we will be able to complete at least one challenge because I'm guessing we won't castle this game. Oh, 95 is so tempting, but I can't play it. Okay, but after... Oh, dude, it's so tempting, but I can't play it. What the heck, dude? This is so silly. Dude, who came up with this game, bro? Okay, we can cut this off, though, after... Oh, wow, he just gives us 93. Okay, okay. Wait a second. Okay, after f takes, I want to just come over here. Actually, that's my idea. Yep, after that as well, I want to just come over here. Instead of taking the rook in the corner, that potentially would have resulted in a draw. This way, I think we're able to win. Yep, and then we can force him back. Or that works too. Alright, let me double check this. But I don't think we moved a piece to the center 4 squares. Yeah, I really wanted to play 95 there. I don't even know if it was the best move. I think I was looking at 95 because I was specifically looking for moves that moved a piece into those central 4 squares. But I don't even know if it was best. Okay, yeah, it definitely was best. Yeah, I really wanted to play this move, but I wanted to keep hopes alive for the challenge, and we got it. We did not move a piece into the center 4 squares. All right, let's requeue and see if we can get one more game in here. Which one do we want to do here? Oh, why haven't I talked about this? Rook lift on move 2, man. We got to go for that one. That one's just too much fun not to go for. But we got to get the white pieces. I think this one's kind of impossible to do as black. Okay. All right, here we go. Pawn h4. Oh, this hurts, dude. Wait, this actually really hurts. Rook h3, knight d4, e3, and takes. It's not dead lost. Let's go for it. There's also e4. The only reason why I prefer e4 a little bit is because it, wow, English. The only reason why I prefer e4 a little bit is because it keeps the hopes of rook d3 alive, or, you know, one of these moves. Okay, this is impossible. Like, maybe e5? Like, I want to go, like, knight e5 here and rook here, but then there's knight f6. So after e5, okay, do I have knight g5 here? I know after knight g5, there's queen a5. Oh, there's also queen b6. Oh, that's so scary. I don't know if I can afford it. All right, I'm going to go for it. Because queen b6, we have d4, queen b4. Oh, wow, he just allows it. Yeah, queen b6, there was d4, queen b4, and rook c3. But now he just allows this checkmate, and there's no way to stop it. And we get the Dubsky with the rook lift on the final game. That was the best challenge, let's be honest. We all wanted to see that one from the get-go. We all wanted to see the rook lift from the get-go. yeah, I actually want to analyze this game because I'm curious. After knight g5, I mean, I'm guessing this is dead lost for white. Okay, computer analysis. Where have you gone? Haha, e4 was not that bad of a move. Hey, look at how this is a real opening here. This is a real opening. See people play this. Yeah, knight f3, f6, e5, and see my threat is knight g5. See, I'm threatening knight g5, and then it's only -11. c6, best move. Okay, but I was correct that it wasn't mate. I saw like after queen b6, d4, queen b4, I had rook c3, and after queen takes, I had absolutely nothing. But hey, he didn't play it. And we will take that Dubsky. And wow, this was actually so much fun, you guys. I actually had a whole lot of fun doing this. Yeah, this was just one of those crazy 3 a.m. ideas that I had. So please let me know if you guys have any other suggestions for things like this. I just scrambled these except for the free space. I put no castling there. And look, we didn't even need to end up using it. We were able to find another one. But also, yeah, let me know if you have any ideas. And let me know if I actually want to do a part 2 to this. I kind of want to make this like a monthly thing or something like that. This was just so much fun. I actually had a lot of fun making this. So let me know if you guys have any ideas for drawbacks to put in the videos next time. And then either way, I want to shuffle it next time I do it. And so then I'll have to try and do combinations of drawbacks. Maybe I'll take out some of the easier ones, or I don't know. This may have been impossible without the easier ones, but either way, this was a ton of fun. I appreciate you guys' support. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.